Libby Phelps.
Okay, so who are you in relation to the others?
Fred Phelps is my grandpa, and Shirley is my aunt.
Good. And you are?
Josh Phelps Roper, which would make Shirley my mother.
Shirley's your mom?
Is that hard to believe?
Let's get him that mic, man. I can't keep doing this. Holy shit. And some chairs, please. Okay. Wow. Were you there by any chance when Malcolm interviewed? You've been gone for a while or no? You've been gone since 2004. Because Malcolm said, I said, how was the interview when you sat down and interviewed Phelps? And he goes, I gotta be honest with you, man. All I could think about was he had a really hot grandson. It could be maybe somebody. Okay, we got a mic or something like that for these guys? And some chairs. Holy shit, this is awesome, man. Take a seat. Enjoy. Okay, you guys are out. You've been out for a while?
2 years. Tomorrow's my anniversary. 2-year anniversary. We're gonna go out to dinner.
To celebrate and shit? Or you just run up to some gay people and be like, you know what? God really loves you. What? 2 years you've been out. What was it? What was the straw that broke the camel's back?
There were a whole bunch of things. They started praying for people to die and just taking insignificant issues and blowing them way out of proportion. Just what?
Yes, I like you.
But why was that beyond the pale? Like, why? Or did you just grow up? Was that like as I got older?
Yeah, as I got older too, and it was just like when we grew up, and that's all we ever knew, and it was just normal for us. And our parents told us, everyone's gonna hate you. Just get used to it. But we went to Puerto Rico, and I saw people from like Spain and different countries, and I was like, there's no way that just 50 people, and God only loves those 50 people.
So wait, do you guys? Is it really? How like there are people that write on the internet, it's a fucking con. It's a con job. It's not real. It's performance art. Is it real? They really believe it?
Yeah, it's real. They really believe it.
Like every morning they get up and they're just like, God still hates fags.
Yeah, man. I mean, I thought I was doing the right thing all the time. Going out there trying to tell people that they're gonna go to hell. Sorry. But I believed I was doing the right thing, and when I didn't believe I was doing the right thing anymore, I left.
And well done, right? So awesome.
Watch it.
How hard was it to leave in terms of emotionally for you, number one, how hard was it to leave? And number two, how hard was it to leave once they found out? Like, did you get shit for it? Or?
I was 19 when I left, and I thought I was a hard ass, and I could just do it. It wouldn't be a big deal, and it was pretty devastating after I left. I was missing my little brothers. I have 10 brothers and sisters, and I was missing all of them because I watched my 4 youngest brothers all the time. I babysat them every day, and when I wasn't doing that anymore, I thought, I'd have my friends to lean on or whatever, and you can lean on people, but it still hurts a lot.
Did you have friends? Do you guys have friends beyond outside the family?
We didn't initially. I had no friends. I'm going to start crying because it is emotionally.
It's a little tough, man. Here, I'm right here. Don't worry about it.
You were just hitting on my sister a little bit ago.
I know. Not the wrong one, apparently, too.
Fiance.
You got one? Right on. So God doesn't hate sex anymore, right? I'm sorry. I'll get my hands off your fiance's. Like, get your hands off. Where is he, man? Where?
There's my wife next to the guy that's waving. She's kind of waving.
Where?
Just right in front of the bar there.
Okay, so that's your husband and that's your wife? And were they with you when you guys were in the church?
No.
So it's fair to say that he has the most magic dick on the planet. Right? That's the dick that pulled you out the fucking Westboro church, man.
I didn't start dating him until a couple months after.
He's back there going, no, let him think that. Let him think that. And that vagina, sir, holy cow, man. Good enough to pull away. So when you say it was difficult, when you leaned on friends, where did you meet friends? Did you meet friends like once you left, or did you have friends while you were still there?
I had people that I knew, that I worked with, gone to school with, whatever, that they were kind of acquaintances before, and you kind of have friends that are outside the church. When you're at work, you kind of BS with people. But we didn't really do anything outside of work. And then, once I kind of told them, and we were getting to be better friends, and I was thinking about leaving, kind of talking to them about it, they were really supportive. But once I left, those people kind of became my family, and they were really close, and I still, I'm really close to them now.
That's so fucking weird. So you spent like a lot of time with a group that was just like, we hate fags, and then when you left your family, you're kind of living the life of gay people, where they make their own family outside their own family.
I've thought about that a lot, that, there's a lot of stuff out there that I remember my family saying that the rates of gay kids' suicide are higher, and that's God's punishment on them. And then when you go out, and you're sitting there and you're like, I'm completely by myself. This is really depressing. I completely understand why that happens, and it's shit. I feel really bad for them, and I feel really bad for anybody that's got to deal with that.
What does it do for you in terms of spiritually? Because you guys were raised in the faith. Do you still maintain some semblance of faith, or you just like left it all behind?
I've tried to go to a couple other churches. I first went to a Catholic church because my fiance, his mom kind of made me go, and I started crying and I left.
Why? Because you're like, well, they killed Jesus every week here.
The Catholics were the worst religion, like the pedophile priests, all that, like the worst. And so I went there, I was like, oh my God, and I started crying, and I left, and I have a few friends, I've gone to a couple other churches, and I still believe in God, but I don't think he hates everyone.
I'm not too sure. So wait, did you ever go back to the Catholic Church?
No, I don't want to go to a Catholic.
It is scary, man. I mean, it's not as scary as your church, but it is a little frightening.
They stand up and sit down and say...
They're very athletic. They make you stand up and sit down a lot. That's why I got out of there. I was like, fuck you. Although I do fit in the chairs because they're long pews. Okay, so you still have the faith, but it's just a little more, a lot more fucking liberal than it was.
A lot more tolerant, yeah.
And do you still practice at all, or do you, at a certain point, you're like, if it's part of them and God's part of them, I don't want to think about God anymore?
No, I still believe in God, and I still pray, and I still, am grateful for the blessings in my life, like my wife and my son. And I, thank you. She is an amazing woman. I don't really want to talk about her private parts on stage with you.
Oh, that's just like a Phelps.
I've had a really hard time trying to even talk myself into wanting to go to another church because, to be honest with you, I know I pissed a lot of people off with what I was doing, but the people I pissed... Thank you. I saw a lot of the dark side of a lot of people doing that. I know I brought it out, but it's made me really... hard to trust organized religion, to be honest with you. And I go to churches for weddings and for funerals, and I know that there's a lot of people in there that are good people that want good things for me and for my family and for the world. I just had a really hard time finding any place that I can kind of fit in with.
Right, all right. Yeah, they love you, man. You would make out like a bandit in the gay community right now, man. You would be a total get, It's shocking to me that you guys can be so close and still maintain the thing that, I always suspected when I watched, but that they believe it. That your mom literally believes everything that she says. I thought it was just she's just doing it for her dad until her dad dies, and then she could be like, oh, all right, now guess what? God's done, and close up shop or something like that. But no, she's committed, you think?
Yeah, I think they're really committed. Don't ask me what's going to happen if he dies. I don't know what's going to happen, but they're pretty.
He's going to go to heaven.
Tim will take over, or Steve.
I sure did. I seem pretty confident.
Which what?
Tim or Steve are going to take over. Did you ever get to talk to Tim or Steve?
Is it Westboro Steve? He's on Twitter, WBC Steve.
Probably, yeah.
Is he a relative?
No, he's the one that did a documentary called Hitmongers, and he was originally from, he came from Florida. I don't know where he was originally from. And yeah, he brought his family up, and then one of his daughters left, and he has 3 other kids.
So He joined the family. He's not a blood, but did he marry in or no? He's just a member of the church.
He didn't marry, and when he was doing the documentary, he was like, "Oh, these people are right. We gotta get my family up here and start picketing."
So wait, he went up there to do a documentary, and he actually wound up agreeing and stuff.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Ah, what a filmmaker!
He's an asshole. He's an asshole.
Is he really? Yeah.
He's a fucking asshole.
Elaborate.
When I left, I was actually at work, and I left. And at this point, I wish I'd have just left in the middle of the day, but I left in the middle of the night. I was
Did
young.
you? Yeah. When
I
did
just wanted to leave. I wanted to get out. I had my buddy help me, and I just left. Packed up my shit and left. And so I was at work 2 days later, and Steve came to my work and asked me if I'd go talk to him, and I was still, growing up, doing what I was told. I was still pretty impressionable. I just kind of went with him, and we were talking, and he was just being an absolute prick. And
Are you guys allowed to say that now?
I was allowed to say that there.
Were you allowed to curse?
Oh
then?
yeah, that whole thing, watching R movies. Oh yeah, man, watched a lot of
Rated R movies. We can watch anything.
Really? There was no like.
That was no joke. You were
My
right.
mom was a little more conservative on that. Like his mom doesn't watch anything.
So it's like, can we watch Toy Story? They're like, no, you watch Rosemary's Baby.
I don't think there was any pressure one way or the other.
I think we would have been allowed to watch Toy Story.
Yeah.
So you left in the middle of the night and shit? Everyone was sleeping?
Yeah, everybody was sleeping.
Did you tell your mom in advance that you were going to leave?
I left a letter. No, I was in Alaska with you.
Never mind. I lied.
No, I packed up my stuff. I had a lot of it ready. Put it into a car, left, and brought the truck back because it was their truck that I used to move with.
I'm leaving, you fuckers!
And I had to
And then
use
you
the
pulled
truck for
back.
a few minutes. Right, here it is. Brought the truck
It's
back.
symbolic.
And that was it. But Steve was an asshole when I met with him, and he was like, so basically, you just want me to believe that you're an enemy of Christ, right? And he just kept saying it. And finally it was just like, yeah, asshole, I'm an enemy of Christ. And I feel bad that I, let him pressure me into saying something like that because I'm not. But I just wanted to get him the hell away from me. So that's why, to this day, I'll give Steve Drain the bird every time I see him.
Oh, dude, you don't have to apologize to this crowd, man. You give them a lot more of the bird, they'd support that. You heard that Coke can Cox line? You heard how they reacted? They're like, yeah, give it to them. What was it like when you guys weren't out protesting? Like, could you do shit like, let's watch Star Wars?
I was a big Star Wars fan. And
Really?
I know
That was allowed?
This is going to sound really dorky, but the whole you got to stand up to evil thing was probably a bad thing to teach a kid you wanted to stand on a street corner and pick at people's funerals.
Did Gramps disapprove of Darth Vader?
He didn't have an opinion.
Really?
He didn't know.
Is he
I don't
aware
even know
of
if he
pop
knows.
culture at all?
Yeah, I don't really think so.
Does he watch TV or anything?
Yeah, he watches news stations and he listens to really old music. I love old music though, so it's fine.
You're like, no, God doesn't hate old music. God's okay with the old-timey music. What old-timey music does he listen to? Like, did you hear the music we were playing before the movie? Is he into that kind of shit?
Like, what was that song?
Just a closer walk with thee?
Yeah, it's just those are hymns. We would sing those songs.
Like, literally, yeah, it's good. And he sings it really nicely. But that's what Phelps sits around and listens to?
Yeah, but just like old songs, like popular songs. I can't even think of it. I just remember he would sing something and like teaching to me, but I can't remember it now. Sorry.
No. It was fascinating. I'm like, I've got a zillion questions I want to ask him. My mind's going through them. The first one I came with was like, did you guys watch Star Wars? That was so fucking dumb, man.
Big fan of Clerks too.
Yeah? Did you guys watch that?
I don't know if I watched it there or not. I think I might have, depending on when it was released. I saw it right when it came out.
In theaters?
No, I didn't get to see it in theaters.
Fuck.
It's a little restricted. I didn't get to go to a lot of movies.
I would
but
imagine,
I saw a lot of stuff on DVD.
Right, that's true. What, do you guys ever go out to the movies? What was it like just going around town and shit? Are people like, fuck you? And you're like, hey, God bless you.
People don't recognize us. Like one time I was walking to Best Buy and they're like, there's that damn Phelps. And I would just be like, yeah. And that's how we were, just like really always happy. And someone recognized us. We're just like, oh my God, yeah, just exciting.
Yeah, really? Is that the inside? Is not.
Because whenever anyone would do that, if they would say something mean, then our family would say all they're thinking about is God hates fags. Because like when you're walking around, that's all anyone ever thinks about when they see you.
So not spreading the message.
Exactly, just by us. That's why I went to public schools too. Kind of a testament, just sitting in the classroom.
Get the fuss. So they used you as kids to be like, just go sit there and be a walking billboard for our backwards cause.
Oh yeah.
I never thought of it that way, but I guess you're right.
And were you ever scared? Like motherfuckers be like, I'm gonna kick your ass, or no?
No, I mean look at me, I can kick anybody's ass.
Built like a tank.
You? You're like, she's a
No,
little butch. Me? I was afraid.
I've seen some crazy shit out of the picket or whatever, and we were in Seattle one time, and I saw a mob, and we were about to leave, and we actually started to walk away, and they were pissed, and they took off after us, and we were getting into the vans or whatever that we had rented, and I'm looking back, and I just see this swarm. I mean, there must have been a couple hundred people, and they were pissed, and they're running up, and the cops were, being cops. Thank God they were there, because I probably wouldn't be here if they weren't, but the first guy that got through them, I saw him get slammed on top of the car, and I was just like, holy shit, this is real. And, we drove off really fast, but, when you're in
They
public,
drove off? Where the God likes speeding.
Exactly. Been like in school, no. I mean, people would say stuff, but as long as you were decent to people, even in school, they weren't really assholes about it most of the time.
Really? So like even in school, people weren't just like, ugh, fuck you guys.
Well, there's always going to be some people, but I mean, what would you guys do if you're sitting next to me and we're in the middle of class? Are you really thinking about me all the time? All right, I guess not. I guess they're nicer in Topeka then.
Yeah, that's weird. I think everyone's just kind of flabbergasted by that you guys could go to school and not catch shit every day at school.
Caught a lot of shit. I mean, but being scared, no.
Really? Really? Why?
I don't know.
Because God,
Dude, we
God
stood on
was on your
street
side?
corners with signs.
Yeah.
What are we going to be scared
And I
of?
went to,
Yeah, like fuck you, Silent Bob.
have you ever been to a San Francisco Pride Parade? I picketed there, and there was a cop. I remember in this one incident, someone was throwing eggs at us, and a cop went out to stop him, and they just mauled him. He came back with blood everywhere.
The cop did?
Yes, I saw it.
Crap.
Look at you smiling.
I don't know why I wasn't scared at all. It was
Well, if you're raising it, I guess you just don't think about it. That's normalcy at that point.
That's why in your movie, when they're shooting, and then the guy says, "Hey, can you go give me some tea or whatever?" It reminded me of when we were picnicking. It'd be really intense. We'd be talking about dinner plans or what movie we were gonna watch or something like that. And I was like, "This is a lot of stuff in the movie." I'm like, "That's so on point." It was really good. It was really good.
You just made up for a year of bad reviews on Cop Out.
His name is Michael Park, the guy that played.
Michael Parks, yeah.
That was just surreal. The stuff he was saying, the fact, he held up the flyer, the piece of paper. I mean, that is my grandfather to a T. Made this flyer this week, sent it out, put it on the fax machine, went out to everybody. God hates New Zealand. That's it. The stuff he was saying is right on, and then I thought was really funny, the thing that was holding the little tripod. There's a tripod in the church, and it holds little signs and stuff. I mean, that was freaking perfect.
What, the little, like an easel kind of
Yeah,
thing?
exactly. There's different stuff on there every week or whatever. And the signs all over the building.
walls.
Yeah.
That was my impression was that. In fact, the art room where they kind of have the big standoff with the government where they're shooting and he's like, "Give me some sweet tea." That was the room where they create all the posters and shit. And that was added 2 days before production began. So we're gonna have the scene in the front room. They're putting together a living room. And I was like, what's missing here is where would they make the signs? Let's make the front room the sign room and shit like that. Is there a sign room? They must make signs somewhere, right?
Were you there when they built onto the garage? Were you there when they did that?
No, it was right after I left.
Now there's a legitimate sign room because first of all, I would make signs. My grandpa would draw them. He's just really good at drawing straight lines. I remember one time I had to draw a sign.
Wait.
I messed up on the line, and I made it. It was
they're going to crucify me if I don't take advantage of that fucking well-placed setup. Fred Phelps is really good at drawing straight lines.
Okay, so first we started making the signs in the actual sanctuary where we had the church meetings. And then there was just like this podium at the front. And you know, with the saran wrap, that reminded me of we would have to tape the signs. And that's what I thought it was, with the clear tape. And just
If you'd have used clear tape, I'd have shit my pants.
Yeah, I thought that you guys did that because of the tape. I was like, oh my god, he's so smart.
I'm going to do a reshoot next week.
And then they actually built onto like the, somebody came and burned down the garage, so then they built, and like on the outside of the garage, they pretty much redid it, and they built a big sign room. They have like these machines where they let the letters come out, and it's just a legitimate big sign room. Okay, that's all.
They put some money into that. How do you fucking make money, man? How do they live?
We go to school and we work hard for our money. Like, I'm a physical therapist.
No, not you guys.
Well, that's how, like, when we were raised, we would go to school, and then we just get jobs, and that's how they would pay for it. I mean, that's what I did before I left. I mean, I got a job, and I paid, like, when we went on picnic trips, I would pay for my airfare and, you know, the hotel and everything. So we just paid for everything.
They make you pay for your own airfare and hotels when you go picket out of your money?
Yes.
You got fucked, man.
I gotta go all over the country, though. I'm in every...
That's the consolation prize. I got to see a lot of the country.
That is awesome, like, silver lining thinking, man. Like, we hate it a lot, but I got to see a lot of cool places. So wait, everybody has jobs, or is it like everyone's like, no, they just sue and that's how they stay in business? They sue everybody.
No. I mean, there's some lawyers, but no, we don't sue. I keep saying we, because that's how, like, when I was interviewed, no, they do not do that. That's a false statement.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth on everything. I'm not going to lie.
No shit,
No,
obviously.
they will sue. I mean, there's nothing going to stop them. And, you know, if they have an opportunity, they'll take advantage of it. They are lawyers, but... No, I mean, they sue, right? I mean, everybody makes money from their clients. The lawyers make money from clients. People make money going to work every day. I mean,
wait, what clients? Who the fuck would hire him as a lawyer, man?
All right.
They don't hire him, but, like, one of my uncles, Jail's dad's a really good criminal lawyer. I mean, they're good at their job. They're good at being lawyers. So people go to them. And they're pretty cheap.
Is the Supreme Court thing, do you think that was just a big commercial for, like, Phelps Law Firm? We're that good.
That one was Albert Snyder, that was his name, right? He's the one that started that, so we were pretty much just...
Responding to that, right?
Yes. And then luckily there's lawyers there, so it's easy for them.
Yeah. Big time. They're all, how many lawyers in the family?
God. I think almost all 13, but there's 9. I think, 8 of them still there, because I don't think Adam is.
She is. She's got a law degree. There's probably 8 or 9 lawyers of his children. 8 or 9 lawyers. Most of their kids, though, the grandchildren like us, not a lot of lawyers there. A lot of computer programmers. A lot of nurses.
Like in the health field now, it's not a physical therapist. There's a lot of nurses and.
Were you encouraged to be lawyers? Like, you guys better be lawyers when you grow up.
My dad told me not to. I used to work in a law office too, or not a law office, but the law library at the school. But he was like, no, don't do it. I don't know why, he just didn't want us to do it.
When I was a kid and I'd go to the law office, I thought it was really boring as shit. I didn't want to be a lawyer because I thought it was really boring.
We had to work there and file stuff. Hours upon hours.
That must have been really hard.
And then, when I tried to listen to my iPod, I got in trouble. While I was filing.
Who yelled at you?
Who do you think?
Gramps?
No.
Shirley?
Yes.
For listening to an iPod?
Yes.
What were you listening to? What are you listening to that gets you in trouble?
They don't even know. It was probably like, I don't know, Muse. That's my favorite band.
Look at that, man. Some support. So wait a second. So it's just the idea that you're listening to an iPod, that you're doing anything, that you're enjoying yourself, that you're not hating something at that moment?
I don't know what the deal was. It's like I was doing it for free, which I'm not complaining about, but it's just like, Good grief, let me listen to some tunes.
You are so fucking adorable, man. You're like the sweetest little Nazi who escaped.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Okay, so like, what about birthdays and shit like that? What about family get-togethers? Are you guys getting the newsletter? Is there any connection whatsoever? Once you're out, it's like a cult in some ways?
We didn't celebrate holidays growing up except for our birthdays, but like once you leave, you don't get to talk to them anymore. But holidays right now are really, really weird for me still because it's only been a couple years. It's like Christmas and celebrating that.
Came to my house.
I know, but it's still really weird. It is.
You could totally come to my house for Christmas anytime you want, man. Anytime you want. Well, you come and spend Christmas every fucking year with me. We'll make it an annual thing. People will be like, who are them? I'm like, you'll never believe this. Did you guys celebrate Christmas?
No Christmas.
Oh, so now it's weird because you're like, we get to celebrate. Why not Christmas? It's Christ. Well, he was born and they believe in Jesus and he needs a birthday.
Because they said it was it's pagan idolatry. And they're worshiping Santa and I don't know what else they're worshiping.
So you guys didn't have Santa either?
No Santa.
No, what about birthday gifts? You get gifts?
That was the only thing, so I get super excited. My birthday is next month. I'm so excited.
Happy birthday. Wait, why are you super excited? Because
it's my birthday, and I don't even care if anyone gets me anything. I just get so excited. Because that's the
Just
only thing
it's a
celebrated.
look how cute you are. God hates facts, but I love my birthday.
Everyone always makes fun of me.
Why? What about you? Birthday? Celebrate, big birthday celebrated there?
My friends don't understand why my birthday's so cool to me.
And why? Well, why is it? Because that was the one.
It's the one holiday, man. I'm getting toys.
Really? I mean, you guys didn't. There's only one other gift-giving holiday they got screwed out of, really. Christmas. I mean, it's not like the other
No,
ones.
but we didn't do Easter. I mean, Valentine's Day. It kind of sucks when you're growing up and everybody's passing out the Valentine's Day stuff, putting it in your little sack, and you're like, Valentine's Day stuff for me.
Did you really not get Valentine's in school?
Halloween pissed me off. I enjoyed my first Halloween.
I dressed up as a Smurfette. I painted my whole body blue on first Halloween. I was so excited.
Like it was the first time you did that.
I sure would hate this. You guys are fucking courageous, man. Well done. How many other people have escaped and gotten out, if you will?
5, 6, 7. How about
You know what,
of
there's-
the grandkids? There's you, me. Yeah, my sister, a long time ago.
When she left, did you have contact with your sister or no?
No, I really didn't get along with her growing up. She was kind of mean to me.
Now that when she got out and then you got out years later, can you prepare to preach? You're like, nah, fuck her.
I'm like that. I don't cuss very much, but yeah.
You don't cuss very much? You should hang out with me. I'll teach you everything.
I've met her sister since I left.
Really?
I'd say there's probably...
I mean, is there like a support network of those who've
There's
left?
really not. They act like, when they talk about us when we left, they say stuff like, oh, you got everybody in the world supporting you and blah, blah, blah. And it's really not, The most it's been now is like tracking her down, and she'd been out a year. And the only reason I knew she'd left was because I listened to a little thing on 96.5 The Buzz where she's talking to Laszlo about leaving. And by the way, I don't know where Laszlo
Oh, is
is.
Laszlo here?
But he owes me an apology because I emailed him like twice trying to get her email address, and I got nothing.
God hates Laszlo. So you heard on a radio show that she had gotten out and you looked her up and shit like that?
Yeah, and I tracked her down with one of my other cousins, and it's gotten a lot better now. So now, like last Christmas, I had 2 of my cousins there, my wife and son, and it was a really nice time, But it was different. The years before, I haven't known a lot of my cousins that have left. It's hard to find people a lot of the time, but that's actually how I found a few of them.
Facebook?
Yeah, but there's a lot of Tim Phelpses on Facebook. You try to find them.
Popular name.
Exactly.
Jesus, man, that's it. Sorry.
That's okay.
At the end of the day, man, he's committed to it. The other ones are committed to it. So if he passes and Westboro, Steve, or whatever takes over, is that it? Or do you? I mean, based on what you're saying, the grandkids seem to be like going this way, and heading out of it.
Well, there are about 50 grandkids and only 5 or 6 of us have gone. But when I left, they were saying that it was the end times, so they probably don't.
Are they really literally saying it's the end times and shit? Like
They were
crazy
saying that
batshit?
when I was still there. That's almost
I
7
didn't-
years
yeah.
ago, man.
Well,
It's a long ending.
What I want to know is
It's
what
like the
happens
ending
like
of
20
Schindler's
years
List.
from
It just
now.
keeps going and going. Oh my God. What about, well, wait a second, the end time. So what happens, like, do you ever just question them, like, hey man, I thought it was supposed to end a little while ago, it's still going on.
See, yeah, it's like 20 years from now, what are you going to say? That's why, I was nervous coming here tonight. I thought, what if they pulled a prank on me and sat me next to Megan? And then I was like, yeah, that's what Libby's telling me.
Did you guys come, who brought you? Did you just come by yourselves?
We drove up.
yeah, well, I got some tickets from 965 to us.
They gave you tickets? That's awesome. And so what, you guys come up and you didn't know, like, they might have been here. Well, they were here and shit.
I was looking for them outside. No, I was looking for them outside. I bet they regret leaving now because we're up here dominating their airtime.
Yeah, exactly. That's all they want.
Oh my God, say it. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows it, but go ahead, tell them the ultimate truth.
All they want is publicity.
That's it, right? So the idea that you guys be up here talking about, like, they don't even care that you're talking shit. They just care that you're like, fuck, that's time we could have been fucking talking shit. Why, man? Why? Because they believe. Do you think, like, all right, what about Megan? She believes it too?
Yeah, Megan does.
Like in a big bad way?
Yeah, she's one of the hardcore. She doesn't, I think she just works with Cheryl, because Cheryl, she says that she works at the law office. I think she kind of runs it, but then Megan works with her, and they do a lot of the media, phone calls and everything, set up everything. She was going to be a lawyer, but I don't think she's doing that anymore. Megan was.
Going back to the whole end of times thing, she didn't go to law school because it's the end of times or
Yeah,
whatever. So that's
that's
what I was
true.
going to say,
Get the fuck out of here.
like-
Megan didn't go to law school because the world's about to end?
Yeah.
Did she see that 2012 movie?
Exactly. so what am I going to come here and Megan's going to look at me and say, you're going to hell? Well, you didn't go to law school because you think the end of the world is here. What the hell do you have to say to me?
And she's like, my thing's shorter than your thing. That's all. They just got a better marketing hook. You know what I'm saying? You're going to hell. And the thing you'd say back to them is like, well, you're ridiculous because you're all these things. You know, they just got it real truncated and shit. I can't believe that you guys were number one here. That's so cool to me. And nobody told me that is a neat thing. Thank you so much.
I'd like to say thank you to 96 Buzz for the tickets. They didn't have to do that, so thanks, guys.
That's really cool. Yes, thank you, Buzz. But more importantly, thanks for getting out, because fuck it, you know? I mean, yikes. It's nice that you actually kind of said, I'm done with this, and kind of left it behind. Some people find themselves in a situation, especially one they were raised in, stay in it.
It gets
trapped
better.
or otherwise. What's that?
It gets better.
It gets better? What does? Getting out? Yeah, I think they know that part. But yeah, I mean, very heroic what you did, stepping out of there, man. Good for you guys. Congratulations. Wow, that's a big bucket of win for tonight, folks, man. That's, what time we got? Do we have to wrap or no? What is it? I don't know if you're in charge. Hold on, here's John Gordon. What, jump up to the mic, sir.
We have like 10 minutes, but I want to say this. These guys were very cool because they let Josh and Libby come up to ask a question
Thanks
before.
to everybody on that side. I know we was kind of
Very
in front of
cool
you.
because
Thank
they
you.
let
Sorry
them
to
come
dominate.
up.
We cut in front of them. Thank you so much for letting us
So these
cut in
guys
line.
got to get a question in, and we got
They
like
get the
10
last
minutes.
question. Okay, you want to hang out while we do it, or you want to sit down, or what do you want to do? I know you're used to being in the spotlight, I'm sure. Yeah, just hang out. Look at you. You're the cute Phelps, man. I've always been saying it's Megan, but look at you.
Thank you.
You're the metrosexual Phelps, dude. Totally. You could make out well on both sides of the fence. Talk to me. I'll look you up.
I'm spoken for.
Yes.
Hi, honey.
All right, right, let's go. We'll wrap up with you guys, man. Thanks for letting them in front of you. What you want to know?
Well, honestly, I just I've seen the flick a couple times now, and I wanted to ask you a question about some stuff I noticed. Real quick stuff.
Get it closer to the mic, though.
Yeah, number one, that scene where Billy Ray runs into the gun room and the cross starts lighting up on the ceiling all slow like that, and it's dramatic as shit. Was that on purpose? Oh, that was all right. The second moment that I noticed that that's like chilling to me is the moment when Jen and then I guess her husband in the film and their daughter.
And her husband in the film. That's Michael Parks' son, James Parks. Like usually he's the guy.
He sounds a lot like Michael Parks.
Yeah, he does. Sounds like, looks like. He's the dude in Quentin's movies who's usually next to Michael Parks when he's like, son number one. That's son number one.
Right on. Well, when he says, who's Satan's agent on earth? And the little girl says, the homosexuals. And the two people next to her are like moving around, and she's like rock solid. It's creepy, man.
It's creepy,
awesome.
right?
I like that, yeah.
And then Jen had this idea, which she put into the flick, which I really liked, which was after Fiona May says the homosexuals and she is rock solid and shit, they kind of like, Jen puts her hand on her husband's shoulder and they're kind of filled with pride. I thought that was really kind of nice, man. I was like, that's badass and shit. So yeah, everybody brought a little bit something to it, but yeah, that chick who played Fiona May was just on point, man. I didn't give her that direction, like, you stand fucking still. She just kind of went with it, man. That was one of those instances where I just stayed out of the way and something very cool happened.
Yeah, man, it really worked. And I wanted to say, especially because of these guys tonight, has been probably the best film experience in my entire life, man. Getting to the backstory and everything.
Cool, right? That to me is an amazing review because it's like that's based on like it's just this night and you guys being here and being a part of it. You brought something out. That's thank you for being here. Yes.
Cool. Well, yeah, I've been following you since the Radio City Music Hall. This is our fourth.
Following meaning going on the tour?
Yeah.
So
well,
you've gone to every stop?
Following you every night home. This is our fourth night coming to the screening. But we've gone to, I think, 5 or 6 of the nights doing some outside stuff.
Nice, man. Thank you.
But yeah, the show rocks.
Thank you.
It gets better every time. And the acting is phenomenal. And I just want to say, I mean, it's kind of a bummer that it feels like the Q&A at Radio City Music Hall didn't go quite as well as it could have, seeing as how most of the cast was up there, but most of the questions were directed towards you.
Yeah.
Is there any chance of getting a second Q&A with everybody together?
Yeah, the Will Turn show at the end of the tour is going to have the whole cast there. And that one, maybe we'll vet the questions a little bit more. I mean, that's what they always ask me when we're doing Q&A, do you want us to like vet the questions, pre-select questions, have people in advance find out what they're going to ask? I don't like that. I'm like, no, I'd rather just let it happen on the day. And sometimes it's great, and then sometimes, you're kind of stuck with a bunch of people asking me questions when you have way more interesting people kind of standing to the left. So, it's unfortunately, that's unfortunate for the audience. For me, though, I was like, ooh, you want to talk to me? Hi, I'll talk to anybody. So it was, I guess, sort of a mixed bag for some people. I enjoyed it. But the Will Turn show, we'll make sure that we kind of vet the questions so that going in, everybody will get something, and it won't be.
Is Michael Parks going to be there?
I'm sorry?
Is Michael Parks going to be there?
Michael Parks would be at that one. He didn't want to fly. We thought he was getting on a plane, and he thought he was getting on a plane. The last minute, he's not a good flyer. He was just like, I can't do it. So he'll definitely be at the Will Turn, but everybody will be there. It looks like as well.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, man. Thank you for coming out.
You never know.
Never know.
Thank all of you for being here, man. As I've been telling cats the whole way on the tour, it's very rare that you get to work for people that you absolutely love, employers that you love, and you guys are definitely my employers and have been for nearly 20 years because without you coming to see shit I do, nobody pays me to do it, and I have no job, and I'm back at the Quick Stop. So sometimes you have to steal another artist's expression to kind of take for yourself, and it's just the appropriate way to express something. And in this instance, I borrow from Bette Midler when I say, "You are the wind beneath my wings." This tour is a really kind of whimsy that we had on day 4 of the movie, and it's turned out fucking great. I can't tell you how amazing it is to just sit with a crowd every night and watch this flick. You know, when you make a flick, it's like having a kid to some degree, and you're proud as fuck of it. And this movie, I'm more proud of than anything I've ever done before. And listening to you guys discovered every night is great, and I know that it wasn't cheap. I know it cost you precious to get here and a few fucking shekels and whatnot, and you dug out of your pocket to do it, and I can't thank you enough for doing that for me. That means the world to me, man, and because you were willing to do that, we were able to kind of have this word of mouth tour, so a big thank you to all of you for doing that. And just as a way of saying thanks, man, this is my word on a stack of Bibles to you guys right here and now. From now until the end of time, you go to smodcast.com. It will always be free for you because you guys really came through for me in this tour. I can't thank you enough. So go out there in the world, tell people you've seen it. You don't have to tell them you like it. Just tell them you've seen it. You can tell them you hated it or you tell them you loved it, whatever. But just let them know that you saw it and it was a good time and it's fucking strange because it's a tough little movie to sell. Thanks for being here tonight. Thanks to you guys so much for coming up and sharing. We'll see you in like a month and change when me and Muse and Scott come back to. Thank you, Kansas City. Good night.